We discussed about the GSM protocols. So in the last yesterday class, we discussed about the corresponding previous architecture issues and also continued with the GSM protocols. So coming to the architecture, we are having the three subsystems, right? So radio subsystem is there, and what is called as the base station subsystem is there, and also the corresponding operation subsystem. So network subsystem, the radio subsystem, and also the corresponding operation subsystem. So according to the three subsystems itself, the protocols are also being decided. The protocols are also being decided whether how the data is going to be get communicated among those three subsystems in order to reach the senders and also the receivers, in order to reach among the senders and also the receivers. So how to get connected, the connection, a physical connection in between the sender and the receiver, and also how to follow certain transmission procedure. Regarding to that, whatever may be the three lower layers you are going to use for the communication, all those three layers are being given with certain protocols in order to communicate with the corresponding sender and the receiver, right? So according to the three subsystems itself, our protocols are being arranged like this. For example, these two are the subsystems, or these are the end systems which are going to communicate with each other. So those are going to be having the three layers, that is the corresponding radio subsystem layers and also the corresponding data link layer, and also the network layer has been divided into another three subsystems here. And this particular mobile station, that is the physical mobile user or the corresponding end terminal equipment, which is going to communicating with the other user on the other side, it has to first get connected with the corresponding mobile switching center, right? As we know from the architecture side, as you know from the three subsystems, how they are going to be working, we know that this particular mobile switching terminal has to get connected with the mobile switching center, right? So this particular mobile station terminal is going to first communicate with the base transceiver system using this EOM interface. Using this EOM interface, the corresponding base transceiver system will be get connected. So using this particular mobile station, so through the particular physical channel at the bottom level, using this particular radio interface or that particular physical channel is going to using this radio interface to get connected with the base transceiver system, right? So using this particular EM interface, you are going to get connected with this base transfer system using the radio interface. So after connecting with this particular radio interface, get communicated with the radio channels, selecting the frequency, deciding the carrier frequency, and multiplexing with the different types of connecting points, all are going to be get connected or get doing with this particular physical level. Okay, I'm coming to this data link layer. So how you are going to get connected with the logical connection or establishing a connection to get connected with the corresponding base transfer system to convey our information to that is to be transmitted to the receiver. So you are going to using the LAPD protocol, right? So this particular physical layer is going to handling the radio specific functions like TDMA frame synchronization, inserting the bus into that particular frame and multiplexing that particular data bus and all those things, detecting the channels, measuring the channel equality, quality ratio of the downlink and uplink frequencies and all those things. And coming to the layer 2, that is the data link layer, which is going to use in the LAPD protocol, right? That is nothing but the link access protocol from the D channel will be useful at the data link layer in order to provide you the corresponding signaling in between the network layers. That is the network layers between the two corresponding, that is the network between the two end stations. Okay, and coming to the layer 3 is completely the network functionality, which is the network layer, which is again divided into three subsystems we are having. First one is the radio resource management, RR. Already we have seen in the diagram. The functions of RR is being get supported by the base station controller via the BTSM. That is nothing but the base transceiver system management, which has been connected with the base station controller. Already we've been seeing that. And this is going to be that radio resource system subsystem is going to be get concerned with the setuping of the call and maintenance and the releasing of the radio channels. So whatever were the radio channels and the radio setup beneath that particular data link layer and whatever it is, it will be get maintained by this third layer, network layer, that Setting up of the call and maintenance and releasing of the radio channels will be done by this radio resource management. And another one is the mobile management, which is the concern with registration, authentication, and identification of the corresponding user. Okay, the corresponding user, and it's also going to be providing you the temporary mobile subscriber. Who will be the subscriber initiating the call, subscribing the call from his mobile station will be managed by this mobility management. It is going to be registering the subscribers, authenticating and identifying the location, and also providing you the corresponding temporary identity. So that is nothing but the temporary mobile subscriber identity will be provided by this particular mobile management section. And coming to the call management, this particular call management section will have three entities. That is nothing but the call control, short message service, and the supplementary services. Already we discussed about the supplementary services among three services of the mobile system. There is nothing but bearer services we are having, tele services we are having, and also the supplementary services. These supplementary services are going to be aiding with the bearer and the corresponding tele services. These supplementary services are going to be used by this call management layer of the network layer, right? So that call control and short message service and certain supplementary services like call tariffing, call forwarding, all these are going to be given for you. Right, this is about the protocol services. And coming to this SMS and the call control, this SMS is going to be done by using a control channels. Already we discussed about this control channels while discussing the control hierarchy. That is nothing but standalone dedicated control channel and slow associated control channels are going to be useful for allowing the message to transfer between the two parties, right? And coming to the call control, it is going to be the responsible one for providing you the point-to-point connection between two higher layers, okay? And call clearing and changing of the call parameters, whether you are moving from local to the non-local, or you are roaming over the local to the non-local regions, while changing over the particular regions, and while changing from speaker to the mic or mic to the speaker, how you are going to be changing the parameters or increasing the volume of the call, what you are doing, all these parameters are going to be get controlled by this call control. Right, and coming to the data transmission, already we discussed about this data transmission is being done at the physical level using the pulse code modulation, the AVIS interface, and using the module of BTSM, that is base transceiver system management system. And here it is going to be using the signal system SS7 protocol, which is going to be signaling in between the base system, base station control, and also the mobile switching center, right? Whereas this mobile switching center has been again in concern with, it has been in turn transferring the data that is being received from the BSC to the home location register and visitor location register, authentication center, equipment identity register, and also the operation management control. All this you are going to be knowing, and this MSC is going to be controlling via a particular part called as BSS APP. That is nothing but the base station subsystem application protocol. Okay, application protocol. And coming to the localization and calling that we discussed in the last class, that is nothing but how to identify the locality or the identity of that particular user, right? So how we are going to be identifying the particular location of the particular user, that is going to be periodically updating by using the HLR. That is, HLR is going to be used to get the information from the mobile station first, that is from where the call has been raised. So by using the HR itself, there is nothing but by using the HLR, by using the information given by the mobile station itself, the HLR is going to be updating the location of the corresponding subscriber. Thereon, it will be forwarded to the visitor location register, which will be responsible for giving the information about the location updates also. Okay, so this particular changing of the VLR updates, is nothing but we are going to be calling it as a roaming. That is, we may be moving or we may not be. If you are going to be moving, the VLR is going to be changing your identity. The changing of the identity depending upon your location, whether it is localized to the corresponding mobile station or not, whether it is non-local to the mobile station or the mobile switching center, or it is to be switching from the one station to the another station, whether it is localized or whether it is a globalized call, that particular changing of the locations according to the VLR log is called as the corresponding roaming, right? and it is could be that roaming could be in between the networks or maybe in between the regions also. It may be vary among the regions or it may be between the networks also. And for identifying this particular localization and also the roaming among the mobile stations and between the subscribers, we need certain numbers discussed in the previous class. That is nothing but the mobile station international ISDN number. That is the one which is giving you the country code, national destination code, and also the subscriber number. This is constituting the mobile station international ISDN number. And another one is the international mobile subscriber identity, which is given exclusively for the subscriber identification, which is consisting of the mobile country code, which is different from this country code, and mobile network code, and finally the mobile subscriber identification number. And these two are also going to be usable by the corresponding VLR. And another two are there: temporary mobile subscriber identity. It is going to give you the identification by the VLR. That is, each and every time you are going to be moving over, it is going to be temporarily giving you certain number called as temporary mobile subscriber identity, MSI. And coming to the MSRN, this is going to be a temporary address which is going to hiding you your exact location. That is, TMSI is going to give you the exact location, whereas the mobile station is also going to be get hidden by you by using this mobile station roaming number, which is temporarily allocated by you for from the MSC, right? The HLR is going to be assigning you, and HLR is going to be constantly storing your this MSRN number, which is going to hiding your local station, so that other user couldn't be identifying your from where and which mobile station you are being calling. That is your location, and your mobile station control is also going to be hidden. So you are not at all going to be identified by the other party from where you are calling, what is your location, and all this by using this MSRN, right? And coming to this mobile terminated call, which is our today's topic, how a mobile call will be raised up and how it is going to be followed with different steps, which is being picturized in a single picture or a single image or a single sketch. So how a mobile terminated call will be raised up and how it will be reaching the other station from identification with that is before getting to the mobile switching center, which will be connecting to the other party to communicate with. So before getting to that particular MSC, what sort of steps are going to be taking place by raising from the calling station? How it will be taking care. See how it is been forwarding. What happens in this particular steps, we'll be seeing the algorithm, whereas we'll be seeing through the followed by steps. So from the calling station, so from the subscriber side, the call is being raised, which is being connected to the PSTN, that is public switching telephone network. We are being connected through. That is, our call will be connected to this public switching telephone network, and the call will be get forwarded to the GMC, that is Global Mobile Switching Center. From this particular mobile switching center, the call will be connected to this HLR. That is, our identification will be, our location identification will be given to this HLR, and this particular HLR is going to be again forwarding it to the VLR. The VLR is going to be giving you the temporary mobile subscriber identity, and it will be get again forwarded to the HLR, and again HLR is going to be updating this particular VLR identity back to the GMSC, which is been given allocated by this VLR. Already we discussed about that HLR will be giving some identity to the VLR, that is home location register will be updating your identity to the VLR, and VLR will give you the TMSI, that is temporary mobile subscriber identity, and that particular identity will be given back to you to the HLR, and HLR will be updated to the GMSC. After that, it will be given to the MSC, that is mobile switching center. So to which mobile station that you are being get connected with, to which mobile station that we are being get connected with, that is receiver is presenting on which mobile station. So for to reach that particular mobile station to which we are being communicating with, that mobile switching center has to be get connected with multiple number of base substations. base stations, substations, or base substations. All these base substations are being get connected with multiple number of mobile stations. We already discussed about the subsystems, how the mobile stations are being connected with the base transceiver systems, and how the base transceiver systems are being connected with the corresponding base station controllers, and how base station controllers are being get connected with the mobile switching centers, so that they will be get connected with the other parties to get communicated with, right? So that our call has been raised here, which has been connected to the public switching telephone network. They're being get connected with the global mobile switching center. Using this global mobile switching center, we are being noted with the home location register and also the visitor location register. From there onwards, we are being get connected with the corresponding mobile switching center. So there is, through this mobile switching center, we have to get connected with another mobile station. So this mobile station has to be get connected with in order to communicate with. In order to communicate with to and fro communication, we need this particular mobile station. So how you'll get this particular mobile station? Through this mobile switching center itself, the mobile station has to be get connected. So this mobile station again connected with its own it's with its own BSS. That is, this mobile station is presenting in this area of base substation. This base substation has to get communicated with the mobile switching center using the base transceiver system. Using base transceiver system. From the base transceiver system, it has to connect it with the base station controller. Actually, those steps or those internal stages have been hidden here, but we do have this system. That is, within the BSS we are having the MS. From the BSS, the control will be get to the BTS, and BTS to the BSC, and BSC to the MSC here. Okay, so that is the actual procedure. So that after 8 and 9, that is, but giving the location and getting updated to the VLR again in turn. From the 10th step, we are being connecting to the other stations, but we are being identified that the MS is presenting in this BSS location. That's why we are being given with the solid line here, right? So other stations are also being given the polling. Okay, but we are being identified that MS is being located. The corresponding receiver station is being located under this BSS. The receiver station has been located under this BSS, so that the connection has been established in between these two, so that from there onwards, the BSS has been communicating with the MSS, and again the mobile station has been communicating again back to the BSS and its location and its communication links, and its all other things are being communicated from 11 to 15 and there onwards to 16 to 17. To and fro communication will be happen in between the BSS and also MS, in between the calling station to the corresponding receiver station, right? This is how the picture of how the call has been established between one communicating point to the another communicating point, using all the substations, using all the subcomponents, using all the subsystems which are being connected with all the three main subsystems. That is the radio subsystem, base station subsystem, and also the network subsystem, and also the operating and maintenance control, right? So here the step one, what you have been calling, what you have been discussed up to now is user dials the phone number of a GSM subscriber. Next, the fixed network identifies the number belonging to the GSM to get connected with the gateway MSC. Next, the gateway MSC is going to be identifying the HLR subscriber and signal to the setup with the HLR. Next one is checks the number existence, and it will be identifying with the current VLR to get identified with the VLR, and that is nothing but checking the MSRN number. Next one is VLR sends the corresponding MSRN to the corresponding HLR back to it. Next, upon receiving this MSRN, that is the mobile station roaming number, but by getting that particular mobile station roaming number, the HLR determines the MSC responsible for MS. Which MS we are going to be get communicating with, the corresponding MSC will be get identified, and the corresponding information will be get forwarded to the GMSC. And it is going to be setting a call for the corresponding MSC indicated, and MSC requests the VLR. The same procedure that has been happened on the home station or the source station, that could be happen now on the corresponding receiving station. All those will be happening on the receiver side. VLR sends the requested information. If the MSC is available, the MSC is going to be initiating paging to get connected with the corresponding what is called as home station or the source station, and the BTSs of all BSS transmitting the paging signal to the MS to identify which BSS is consisting of the corresponding MS. So if the corresponding mobile station answers, the VLR performs security checks, then the VLR signals to the MSC to set up the connection. So once the VLRs are going to be checking against each other security of the mobile stations, that is nothing but the sender and the receivers, what is called as the visitor location registers are identifying their security among. Once the corresponding mobile station is being identified through the MSC of that particular mobile station, then the VLRs of the corresponding source and the destination are going to be checking their security against with each other, and they are going to be building the call among and building the connection among them, and they will continue to communicate with each other, right? All these things has to be come into picture. All that is nothing but the BSS are to be coming to picture, BTS are to be coming to picture, and corresponding VLRs and HLRs and also the MSRNs has to be get exchanged between those two parties in order to get communicate among themselves in a secured way, in an encrypted way. If they has to communicate, all these things has to be come into picture. They has to trace, they has to identify their communication, security, and they has to exchange their numbers, and then they has to establish a connection among them, and they has to communicate with each other, right? That is about the mobile terminated call. How the corresponding mobile is going to be raising the call, how it will be get communicated with the other party, and how it is going to be get terminated after the completion of the call. And coming to the handover, already we decided that what the roaming is going on. Roaming could be in between the networks, in between the different regions, in between the different countries, and different individual mobile sets, right? So what about this handover? The cellular systems requires the handover processes as signals will not cover the total distant areas they has been aparted. So why? Because the parties who are being communicating through the mobile computing devices are not belonging to the shorter distances. They may apart between a larger distances. If they are being aparted between the larger distances, the corresponding signal which has to be reaching between the two parties will not part or will not lapse through the larger distance with the same equal strength. Okay, it could not be spread over the same, larger distance with the same signal strength. So for that one, you are going to be handing over the signal from distance to the distance. We are being handing over the signals from distance to the distance to the corresponding relaying stations. To the corresponding relaying stations. Already you know about, everybody know about the relay run. Okay, so only one person is not going to be running over the total distance, but there could be some persons who are being taking over that particular relay, and from there onwards the other person will continue to run. In the similar way, here also the signal is going to be relaying between the distance apart. That is, for a specific distance extension, a particular signal or antenna is going to be conveying the signal. From there onwards, the signal is going to be getting dropped, but the another signaling antenna is going to be taking that particular responsibility to convey the signal or to retransmit the signal from that particular point. So that is nothing but the handover. So the cellular system requires the handover procedures, that is nothing handing over. Each and in the relay run also, some instrument is going to be relieving between the two runners to continue with the corresponding other remained distance to reach the target. Right? In the similar way, here also the handover procedure will be taking place between the cellular antennas. So handover should not pause. This particular handover will be giving you the connectivity or continuity in between the signal between those antennas to reach the distant apart destination. So this particular handover mechanism should not cause any cutoff or call drop. So without getting any break in our call, or without getting any break in your data transmission, that handover has to take place. So how much of the duration will be taking place? How much of duration will be taking for this particular GSM in order to perform this handover? The GSM aims at a maximum handover duration of 60 milliseconds. Within the 60 milliseconds itself, the two antennas are going to be exchanging their signals to perform the handover. So what are the main reasons to perform this particular handover? Is nothing but two reasons are basically explained to you. Two reasons are being mentioned here. The mobile station moves out of the range of a BTS. If the mobile station is going to be not under the range of the base transceiver system. Why? Because whenever we have to send the signal to the outside the mobile, outside the mobile, that mobile has to transfer through the base transceiver system first. So if the base transceiver system is going to be conveying your signal from our BSS outside our BSS to the mobile switching center, we have to remain within the range of the BTS. So to how much of distance the BTS is been covering, we should be there within the range of the BTS. But if you are crossing the distance that is being covered by the base transceiver system, then we need the handover, which is to be get received and which is to be get recovered by some other BTS again. Why? Because your signal is being out of the range of the BTS of your own. Then other BTS has to take over that particular signal. Then that is the reason to take care of that particular handover. The mobile station moves out of the range of the BTS, so that decreasing the receiver signal level, increasing the error rate. Obviously, your signal will not be getting that much of energy in order to reach the receiver. So your downlink frequency is going to be diminishing on the receiver side, and your uplink frequency also may get diminished, or it is going to be getting down. That is the first reason. And next reason is handover mechanism is going to be changing whenever decides to traffic is, whenever the traffic is there much on the BSC or the MSC. That is a, if the what is called a base station control or maybe the mobile switching center is having the heavy rush on it, that is heavy traffic is presenting on that particular moment of time, then also you are going to be having the less of chance getting the establishing the connection between the two mobile stations, and also there may be chance of getting the full energy in transferring your signal from the source to the destination. So in that case also the mobile station will be shifting from the lower load MSC or the BSC, lower load MSC or the BSC. In that way also handover may be taking place. Not only just taking care about the distance, you are also taking care about the traffic on the PSC or the MSC. If there is a heavy rush on the MSC BSC, there may be also chance of getting the energy levels to be getting down. So in that case also the mobile station is going to be shifting from the corresponding heavy loaded MSC or BSC to the lower loaded MSC or the BSC. In that case also we can say that it is a handover, right? This is how the handover taking place. So MSC is belonging to that particular BSC. If this particular mobile station is moving out of the BTS area, if the BTS is been covering this particular area, our mobile station is being remained here. Simply our BTS is being responsible for to get connected with the BSC and then connected with the MSC, right? But if, sorry. But if you are moving, this mobile station has been moving to the other area or it has been moving out of this particular radio cell, then BTS is unable to get to connected with your signal. At that time, the another BTS which is responsible to take the signal of this particular mobile station will get connected to you. This is called as handover one in one case. This is called as the handover. That is the BTS is being handing over the control of your this mobile station to the other BTS that is very nearer to the area where you are being located. Then this is called as handing over. This may be taking place between this particular BTS and also another BTS depending upon the location that you are going to be existing. This is called as handover. I think I am clear. I am you being clear about this particular handover. Is it okay for you how the handing over is been taking place, how you are moving from one Wi-Fi to the another Wi-Fi or another, one network to the another network, or how you are being moving from one BTS to the another BTS in the same network? Is it okay for you? What is the handover or the localization? Somebody respond. I've been unmuted you. Are you able to understand what is the localization and the handover, handing over of the signal between the mobiles or the mobile networks? Are please respond anybody. Are you getting the thing or not? Number 55. Unmute yourself and answer me. Number 55. See, all of you listening the topics or not? Simply connecting to the class or keeping aside the mobiles? Anybody respond to me whether the topic is being understood by you or not?
Yes, ma'am.
41. Mohan.
Yes, ma'am.
Only you are been hearing or you are been responding to the question?
No.
What about others? Right. See, if you are being bluffing or if you are going to be keeping back, nobody are being there to help you again. Nobody are there to help you or to relieve you from the topics to get understand. And one more thing is, yesterday a meeting has been gone with Jody sir, and he has been insisting and right from the management side itself, you people are been insisting to use the laptop instead of the mobiles to have the clarity in between the topics to get on or to understand, and also to have the uh, clarity to see the screens, and also to have the execution of the programs to get with the lab subjects. You are being insisting to buy your laptops and to get connected with the laptops for the further classes. So try to buy the laptops and to get connected with the laptops, so that furtherly you will be working with the lab sessions also, right? And now I'm continuing with the topic. Right. So this is how the roaming or the corresponding handing over the signals of the be taking place. So a single radio cell may be consisting of many number of mobile stations, and these mobile stations may be not may be static. They will be moving over. So while moving over the different areas, if our BTS will be out of the control of this particular radio cell, we may be connecting to the corresponding other BTS, which will be responsible for taking over our signal to get connected with, to have the connectivity of our signal to continue our call or to continue our data transmission. All these BTS are being responsible. We are being connecting to all these BTS depending upon the location we are being moving with. So the signal will be get connected or to switch it from this BTS to the another BTS is corresponding to the corresponding regions or respective regions. Okay, so that we are being get connected with the corresponding base station controllers. There you are being connecting to the respective mobile switching centers to get connected with the receiver station. And at the same time, if you are being connected with this BTS and you are trying to this connected to this particular BTS, but this particular BTS is rushed with all the mobile switching centers, mobile stations in this particular radio cell, then you are not able to get connected with this particular BTS, so that our mobile station signal will be shifted to the corresponding lower loaded BTS, or lower loaded BSC or lower loaded MS, depending upon the traffic on that particular system. This is nothing but the handover mechanism, right? This is how the signal will shifted from one network to the another network. And this particular handover mechanisms are different. That is depending upon the area that you are being discussed, depending upon the figure that we've been discussed here. 4 criteria of handover are there in between. That is, first one is the intra-cell handover. So within the cell, narrowband interference could make transmission at a certain frequency impossible. So the BSC could then decide to change the carrier frequency. So for example, within the cell area itself, that is, we are not moving to the another cells, we are not moving to the another BTS and all those things. But what happens is, whenever there may be very narrow band interference, that is because of the neighboring cells and neighboring frequencies, we may get some interference and disturbance, because of which the frequency could not be completely connected. So at that moment, within the cell itself, the base station controller will be changing your carrier frequency. That is, our carrier frequency will be changing from one band to the another band. Whenever there will be some interference because of the neighboring channels, we couldn't get the complete signal to get connected with. In that case, you are going to changing our frequency. For example, whenever this happens means, whenever you are calling your friend, sometimes we couldn't be getting call for a single call itself. At that moment, it is been saying that the corresponding paths are all busy at that moment, or corresponding call couldn't connect at that moment. But whenever we tried for twice, for the twice we are been calling for, we'll be getting that particular call which will get connected. So what happens in that particular seconds? For the first time you have been called, we are being tried, our call has been not connected, and in the second call itself, we are been connecting to our receiver. Okay, so what happens in that moment is our base station controller, it's been changing our carrier frequency. That is nothing but you are being in the process of intra-cell handover. Within, we are presenting in the same cell itself, radio cell itself, but we are been changing our carrier frequency to get connected with the receiver. That is one of the category. Next one is intercell intra-BSC handover. Intercell and intra-BSC handover. That is nothing but BSCs are going to be changing, but there will be intercell communication. That is, this is a typical handover scenario within which you are moving from one cell to the another, but stays within the control of the same BSC. BSC controller will be same. That is, the same base station controller will be there, but BTS is going to be varying. That is, your position will be under another cell area, radio cell area, but the controller will be same BSC. Your own BSC will be controlling you, but you are moving to the another radio cell. Okay, then the same BSC is going to be performing the handover. A new radio channel in the new cell and releases the old one. You are going to be leaving the old radio cell, entering into the new radio cell, but you are being get even controlled by the same BSC. That is, intercell will be there. Intercell, that is the two new cells will be there, but intra BSC, the same BSC is going to be controlling your handover. Next one is inter-BSC and intra-MSC. Inter-BSC and intra-MSC. That is, we are changing from one BSC to the another BSC, but the same MSC is going to be handing over your signal. Okay, that is, two BSCs are going to be handing over the signals between two stations. That is, two radio cells or two BSS. Two BSS are going to be changing over the BSC, but the same is going to be, that is, the MSC is going to be same controlled by their mobile stations, right? Next one is inter-MSC. Simply are being crossing over the mobile switching center. That is, changing from one mobile switching center to the completely to the another MSC. That is, we are crossing the total area that is being covered by the mobile switching center, and we are being shifting to the new mobile switching center. That is, we are getting over into the new area itself, completely going to the new area. That is called as the inter-MSC handover, right? See here, you are having a single MSC which is controlling all these BSCs. This is the single MSC which is controlling all MSCs, all BSCs, whereas this is MSC which is connected with the some other BSCs. So the last one which I have been discussing is, we are crossing these three cells and we are entering in this particular fourth area, which is controlled by another MSC which is under the control of the BSC. So we may be control of a single BTS, that is one of the what is called as scenario, leaving this BTS and entering into the another BTS, I mean another BTS control, or leaving this BSC, entering into the another BSC control, or leaving the MSC control or entering into the another MSC control. These are the four scenarios of the handing over. Either we are under the control of the same BTS, either we are under the control of the same BSC, or either under the control of the same MSC, or moving to the another MSC here. Okay, this is how the four mechanisms of the handover takes place. We will be under the control of our local BTS or local BSC or local MSC or foreign MSC. That is the four scenarios of handing over taking place. And coming to the security. Okay, so with the security we'll be completing now. Okay, security also takes place, takes time now. And now we are reminded with the security topic and also the advanced services of the GSM. That is nothing but the GPRS. With the GPRS, you are being ending with the first unit. So security also can be discussed in the next class. So if anybody having the doubts regarding the previous topics or the present topic, or if any clarity requires regarding the handover mechanism or the what is called as localization, whatever it is, I can clear you now. Mobile terminated call or localization, identification of the localization of the numbers, a mobile terminated call, how the steps are going to be taking place, or handover mechanism. Whatever there is a doubt in whatever the topic, I'll clear you, or regarding any other previous topics. If anybody is having doubt, please specify here, I'll clear you. Security and the GPRS can be discussed in the next classes. Anybody? And this thing, please be remind, please try to buy the laptops if you are not having, and please be connected to the classes with the laptops itself. It's an insisting scenario from the management side itself, and it will be useful for you in the career also, right? So from this year itself, you have to work continuously. So until and unless if you are not having these laptops, you won't get with the workouts. You have to be continued from next on. That is for your next life step. If you have to do with, you have to take care of buying the laptops either with slowly also. So taking time itself, even for next step that you have to do with, you need the laptops. So please try to buy the laptops. And also for if the online classes are going to be continue like this, the lab sessions are also to be get shared by faculty in this way or in this mode itself. So at that time, even at that time, at least for that particular also, you need that particular laptops. That is to installing the softwares to get execute your programs, all these things, right? So try to buy the laptops. Everybody be with the laptops for the next sessions or even next classes. Okay. And if there are any doubts, I'll be clearing you. Otherwise, I'm leaving the session.
Ma'am, 1 minute, ma'am.
Yes.
Guys, I have shared one image related to Apita virtual job fair. That is on 12th September, 11 a.m. Saturday. Okay, all of you join the virtual job fair. Okay, there are some different speakers are there from different companies. Okay, just listen what they are speaking. Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Okay, sir. Okay, I'm leaving.